Trust is a loaded gun. It is heavy in your hands, weighty with consequence. You do not hand it over lightly. You do not place it into just anyone's grasp without knowing what they are capable of. Because trust, once given, has the power to protect or destroy, to defend or betray. It can be a weapon placed in the right hands, or a bullet lodged in your back. And the cruelest wounds? They never come from strangers. They come from the ones you believed were incapable of pulling the trigger. They tell you to trust freely, to keep your heart open, to believe in the good in people. But blind trust is just an invitation for disaster. The world is filled with people who smile while loading the chamber, who speak softly while disengaging the safety. They wrap deception in kindness. They lace manipulation with charm. They get close, not to protect you, but to learn the blueprint of your vulnerabilities. The ones who betray you never start as enemies. They start as allies, as lovers, as family. The difference between trust and a weapon is only realized when it is too late to stop the damage. You have felt it, the sting of misplaced faith, the sharp realization that the person you confided in, the one you leaned on, had already taken aim long before you even saw the gun. The betrayal is never just about what they did. It is about what you let them do. It is about the nights you ignored the warning signs, about the times you excused the inconsistencies, about the belief that they would never, could never, pull the trigger. But they did. And when the shot rang out, it was not just pain. It was revelation. Betrayal is not an act of impulse. It is a process, a slow tightening of the grip around the trigger. It happens in stages, in moments you dismissed as paranoia, in red flags you convinced yourself were just misunderstandings. Trust is rarely shattered in one swift motion. It is chipped away, piece by piece, until there is nothing left but the realization that you were the one who handed them the weapon. The ones who betray you were only able to because you let them in. You gave them access to your heart, your secrets, your fears, and they used it. But here is what they do not understand. Once the gun has been fired, once the trust has been broken, you are never the same. You become something else, something sharper, something smarter. You learn that trust is not given freely. It is earned in blood and proven in action. You stop listening to words and start watching behavior. You stop assuming loyalty and start testing it. You do not become cold. You become wise. And wisdom is the one thing they cannot manipulate, the one thing that puts you 10 steps ahead of their deceit. You do not let betrayal make you bitter. Bitterness is just another chain, another way to stay bound to the past. No, you let it forge you. You let it refine you, mold you into someone who does not fear betrayal, but understands it. You do not trust easily, but when you do, it is because you have seen a person's character through their actions, not just their promises. Your trust becomes a rare gift, not a burden. It becomes something of value, something that must be earned. And that is what separates you from those who allow history to repeat itself. They may call you guarded, but only fools walk unarmed into battle. Trust is not weakness. It is power. And power is something you do not give away for free. You no longer let words deceive you. No longer allow affection to override your instincts. You recognize patterns. You know that betrayal leaves a scent, that deception has a rhythm. And when you feel it, when you sense that shift in the air, you do not wait for the shot to be fired. You remove yourself. You disarm them before they ever get the chance. And that is the difference now. You are no longer the person who hands over trust blindly, who places faith in people simply because they ask for it. You understand that trust is a weapon, and in the wrong hands, it destroys. But in the right hands, it builds fortresses, it creates empires, it forges unbreakable bonds. The right people do not ask for your trust. They prove they are worthy of it. They do not need to be convinced. They show up. They remain. They hold the weapon with care, understanding that trust, once broken, can never be restored to its original form. You have learned to trust yourself above all. That is the greatest armor, the most powerful defense. You no longer seek validation in empty promises. You no longer hand over your loyalty to those who have not earned it. You move with caution, but not with fear. You walk with wisdom, but not with walls so high that no one can reach you. Because trust is not about isolation. It is about discernment. It is about knowing that those who deserve it will never make you question if they do. You understand now that trust is not about never giving it. It is about knowing who is capable of carrying it. Trusting without verification is playing Russian roulette with your well-being. The chamber spins, the click of uncertainty echoing in your mind. You hand them the gun, believing, hoping that they will not pull the trigger. You tell yourself that they mean well, that they would never betray you, that their hands are steady, their intentions pure. But hope is not a shield. It does not stop the bullet, does not soften the impact. And some people, they don't hesitate. If betrayal benefits them, they will pull the trigger without a second thought, leaving you bleeding out, wondering how you never saw it coming. They mask their nature behind charm, behind words that flow like honey, but carry the sting of venom. They whisper reassurances, craft stories that make you feel safe, make you lower your guard. They tell you what you want to hear, weaving illusions so seamless that you mistake them for reality. And while you are lulled into comfort, they are calculating, weighing the cost of loyalty against the convenience of treachery. The moment it serves them, the moment an opportunity arises, they make their move. The chamber stops spinning. The trigger is pulled. And you're left with the consequences of trust given too easily. They do not feel guilt. Guilt is for those who value connection over conquest, for those who see relationships as sacred rather than strategic. But these people, they thrive on advantage. They are predators who never expect to be held accountable. They bet on your silence, on your reluctance to see them for what they are. They know that trust, once given freely, is difficult to retract. They rely on the fact that you will give them second chances, that you will rationalize their betrayals, that you will spin the barrel and play again, hoping this time it will be different. But you are learning. You're beginning to see that trust is not something to be handed over like a gift. It is something to be earned like a privilege. You do not let someone hold a loaded weapon in your life without proving they know how to handle it. You start verifying, testing, observing. You stop listening to words and start paying attention to patterns. You understand that trust is not built on sentiment. It is built on consistency. A person's past behavior is the greatest predictor of their future actions, and those who have pulled the trigger once will do it again. They hate this. They despise the moment you start thinking for yourself, the moment you stop handing over your trust like currency. They feel exposed when they realize that their manipulation no longer works, that their empty reassurances fall on deaf ears. They grow uncomfortable in the presence of someone who does not play the game blindly. They will call you paranoid, tell you that you are too guarded, too cynical. But these words, they are weapons too, disguised as concern, wrapped in false sincerity, designed to make you question your instincts. Do not fall for it. Do not let their words cloud your judgment. Trust is a gamble, and every decision to trust someone should be made with awareness, with discernment. You are not cold. You are cautious. You are not fearful. You are wise. The ones who have your best interests at heart will never demand blind trust. They will not shy away from verification, from proving their intentions through actions, not just words. The ones who belong in your life will hold your trust with steady hands, with care, with the understanding that it is not a weapon to be used, but a bond to be honored. You watch now. You listen to what is unsaid just as much as what is spoken. You see the hesitation in their voice when they are questioned, the discomfort in their posture when accountability is required. You learn to read between the lines, to spot the contradictions, to recognize when someone's loyalty is merely an illusion. You do not react. You observe. You let them reveal themselves. Let them show their hand. And when they do, when the barrel finally stops spinning, you are no longer the one standing in the line of fire. You have shifted the power. You do not play their game anymore. You do not place your well-being in the hands of those who have already proven they are willing to harm you for their own gain. You do not gamble with your heart, your trust, your loyalty. You understand that some people are comfortable with destruction if it means they get ahead. You refuse to be collateral damage. You refuse to be the one left bleeding while they walk away unscathed, pretending the gun went off by accident. They are the ones who are nervous now. They see the change in you, the way you no longer fall for their traps. They feel the shift in energy, the way your presence no longer bends to their will. They know that you are watching, that you are calculating, that you are no longer playing games with your life.